if I can spell that. I guess we can come back later. Just let me take the talisman off the door. That's definitely not going to cause something bad to occur. Come back out here later. That's pretty good. And then see what happens here. So we're gonna go back up here, and I'm not sure entirely how we're going to deal with this, because I hope that they at least programmed in not getting stuck with this guy in these type hallways. So that'd be pretty not how do they say it? Shui. Not very shui, no. Oh, hello. Yeah. Welcome to the first episode of the Treasures, Trinkets, and Treachery podcast. As you can see, the place is it's under construction. Scott
You're
over
renovating,
there.
right?
Yeah. Who are you?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a crow.
Yeah, they usually appear in construction sites, I guess. You're here for the pumpkin, aren't you?
I don't know. I mean, it looks a little tasty. Might take a couple pecks out of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, Scott over there is doing his best job. He has all the proper chemicals with no Wemyss labeling on them. He's also building our little antique shop with his stones. I don't know what type of stones they are, but they're stones.
What?
So we've taken over this little newsroom that we're going to tear down eventually, but for now, we're just going to use that. Don't mind the leaves. It's getting kind of windy and chilly out there, but you know.
Uh,
What?
why does it kind of smell a little funny in here?
Oh, don't worry. That's it's just been raining a bit, and the roof is in disrepair. So, um, yeah. Welcome to the podcast. We're here because both of us, even though I just met this crow,
Oh, you can just call me Cecil.
Cecil, it seems that we have both been drawn here by fate itself to talk about video games of all things, of course, online video games, and just kind of what's going on in general around um, the well, I mean, this realm of the hemisphere, just in general, because there's so much going on, and I think I just want to start sharing my opinion, and I'm sure Cecil wants to share his opinion too.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Yep, I kind of felt that way. So, I guess what we can do is we can start introductions, maybe some baseline, how we, what we grew up with and what we like. I think that would be a good starting point. So, Cecil, why don't you start?
I grew up with a variety of games, plethora of experience, and uh, it is pretty safe to describe myself as a bit of a everything gamer. Visual novels, action platformers, Metroidvanias, first-person shooters, you name it, I've played it.
Yeah, it's kind of the same for me as well. Like my father, he made a computer when he was in college, and I played a lot of emulators and ROMs on that. And you know, you get exposed to a lot of the older games that way, and it's opens your eyes because you get a feel for what games used to be like, but you also get a kind of respect for how far games have come. So
Absolutely. It's kind of awkward because there's been a lot of missteps in modern gaming lately. And it's a bit frustrating to watch because you've seen a lot of peaks and a lot of valleys. And it's this constant up and down motion that the industry tends to go through.
I'd argue that it's been like that forever. Personally, you know, you had the you had the game crash in the '80s with ET, where they're dumping a bunch of copies in the desert. You have um, Nintendo coming back, and then you kind of had it has been a slow um, incline up, I would say, and things have been good, but it's definitely at the point where you wonder if it's gonna start failing again or if it's too big to fail. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. I don't think we're going to be at the point of failure at all yet, but it's definitely kind of looking like that, especially with the recent happenings with Nintendo's stock falling after the Switch 2. Especially with, we'll get into some of this stuff later, especially, you know, with most recently Xbox. I just think people have had enough. And you can kind of see that tangentially along with stuff that's not really occurring in the game market as well that we won't get into. But, you know, there's lots of examples where people are actually starting to realize that their money has effect on the industry and they're starting to utilize that power.
Oh, I wish Pokemon fans could take a note from that.
No, they couldn't. I know because I used to be one. So, yeah, I mean, for me as well. In my introduction, kind of a similar thing for sure. Played a bit of everything. Got really into Counter Strike, terribly into Counter Strike in competitive games. But I've been trying to explore a bit more of the laissez-faire aspect of video games and just kind of taking it slow. Been enjoying a couple of new ones. Definitely exploring more of the newer boomer shooters, specifically Cultic. I've been playing. That one's been great. Definitely suggest that if anyone else wanted to try that. But fantastic game. So, I think that is good enough. Eventually, we'll learn more about each other. I intend to have a super chat section at the end of most streams, but this is the first stream. I don't believe anyone's really going to be donating or anything anytime soon. So we're just going to keep trucking along like this is a hobby. And if it ever gets to that point, we'll get to that point and we'll think about it there. So don't have to ever worry about that. So
Just here to enjoy ourselves.
as always, man, you look oddly realistic and it's kind of making me uncomfortable.
Don't worry about the BDI.
Yeah. Okay. So, gaming, modern industry, and the experience of having. What did you write down? Having gamer as a religion.
Already off script.
Well, I'm not really saying
yeah,
there's a script.
I mean,
We're just playing it up. But I mean, I'm gonna break the fourth wall if I have to. Man, that is having gamer as a religion. Is that what you consider your religion?
Yeah, I would. I'd put it on military documents personally.
Oh God, I wonder how many military applicants have actually done that. I wonder if our friend did that.
Probably not.
Okay.
I feel like I feel like you'd get thrown out immediately.
Well, I mean, they can't discriminate,
This
right?
guy's a fucking psycho.
So, so first, we wanted to cover the Online Safety Act in the UK. Obviously, starting off strong here. I don't think I want to really get too far into politics, but sometimes it might overlap with some of the stuff we talk about, just because it's running tangentially to it, like I said. It's
It's a tough situation because, I think baseline of where you stand on the political spectrum, what everyone can, or at least in my opinion, should agree on, is that something that directly affects the freedoms of others affects your freedoms as well. And that's the most that I will say about it. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the part that I want to focus on is how it's affecting the actual games industry, because it's something that is very concerning, especially for future games, because a lot of features that you're actually looking at are starting to get affected by litigation, such as the Online Safeties Act.
What features would that be?
You'd be looking at voice and proximity, guild and club chats, pretty much
Great.
everything, really, right? Your obvious egregious ones that aren't gonna make the pass. A lot of games, indie games, are going to have a lot tougher of a time, because you have to weigh the risk as a developer. Is it worth it to really push through the litigation and worry about it after you've implemented a feature or promised a feature, or is it easier to just take those features back and say, well, we'll come to implementing it when it comes to implementing it, right? And unfortunately, that is compromising experiences that we know actually complement gameplay. Especially off the top of my head, Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah,
What would you do
absolutely.
without voice on and proximity in a game like that? Voice chat for any competitive shooter such as Counter-Strike or Valorant. Sure, people say mean things, but when you have a team that's communicating, it's a fundamental game changer. And of course, guild and club chats for online MMORPGs is a really big thing. Like, how are you going to coordinate?
100%. 100%. It's very tough because the conspiracy theorist part of you wants to say that it is just a grasp for control, and it's a grasp for um, monitoring people's speech and being able to make sure that they're able to control what you say and don't say, because they're always so afraid. I think it is kind of crazy in the world history sense how World War II deeply scarred everyone. Like everyone is so afraid of that happening again. And what I'll say about that is that the farther you push against it, the more likely you're going to make it happen, instead of actually like reasoning with the people who believe that. And I'm not saying that you should accept those views for sure, but you have to be able to talk to these people because you have to talk them down. But I mean, and unfortunately, human history likes to repeat itself a lot, is all I'm going to say. And, we're on a very scary path. And, acts like these make you very nervous because, they affect us directly, because it ruins our fun. It ruins the fun of having, being able to, go out and play a game, even on our best behavior.
Well,
Someone can just come in.
it takes away the fundamental interaction that makes a lot of these games fun. A game like Monster Hunter was never very communicative, but since they've implemented more communication features, there's a lot more personality for the people that are genuine fans of these franchises that shines through, and it creates a very fun experience because you're able to interact with them in a more personalized manner, right? Um, as much as I'll say as well is when you push these marginalized groups over, it just sends them off platform to more secluded spaces. So they can't really gauge their interactions against other people, and they don't ever get a reality check that some of them really need.
100%. I mean, that's kind of what I think these people that are making this litigation don't understand, is that the more you develop these laws, the more you push them underground, and then the more that they become desirable because it becomes a counterculture.
Yep.
And it's
And the unfortunate part about all of it really is just that only the players and small developers are going to suffer because you're going to lose features that have been in games for multiple years now, but you're also going to see developers shy away from implementing features because they can't afford the potential litigation, right? Or backing the features with the proper moderation required to have it available in the UK. And so, what's going to happen? I mean, I doubt that a lot of these companies, especially indie developers who are already have a tough time making money because of the current way that the industry works towards indie developers and publishing rights. Um, it's not like you're going to just cut off an entire nation solely because they don't want to take the risk of a game feature.
I mean, we've seen it done before with Helldivers. They did just cut out like how many how many countries from Helldivers due to the
Well, that's
what
because that's a
what was it?
small enough player base, right?
Yeah.
It was mostly the third world countries. I'd have to take a look at
that's
the
so
list, but
that's so
yeah,
scummy.
any country that wouldn't support the Sony account features, the PSN account features, you just lost access to the game then and there. I don't even know if they've actually been reconnected, which is a shame, honestly.
I mean, people forget. It's just kind of an average thing. Something happens, and then I think all these companies know that if you just give it enough time to cool down, nothing will happen. And you have to, if you really want to make them pay, you hit them either in the wallet or you don't shut up. You don't shut up and you make them hear your voice, because it's obvious, through what we've seen, how Twitter has worked, Twitter or X, has worked throughout the years, the decades even, um, and how effective it can be even for smaller groups to get their voice across and to have some sort of political or like financial business influence, very easy to do. So you just don't shut up about it, and you just keep pushing the issue. But it depends on who's behind the veil that you're trying to pierce, though, right? Because unfortunately, some of the things that people like gamers are fighting, they are being backed by the payment processors. They're being backed by larger financial institutions that honestly probably are too big to fail in reality. Obviously, everything ends, but right now it's not looking great. We're kind of at the point where they're too big to fail currently.
I love corporatocracy.
Oh, 100%. That's ooh, favorite part about this.
Plug me in. Plug me in and fucking give me cyberpsychosis, please.
Oh yeah, 100%. Get the plug-in so you can audibly hear all my thoughts. Broadcast to everyone in the mega city, so they can hear how foul of a person I probably am. So who knows, right? It's kind of it's all up to speculation. So
well,
yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, that's really all that I have to say about it. Is that it's just a shame, because it's just gonna affect the small people,
Yep.
and
As it always
nobody really is talking about this kind of stuff because they're too afraid to they'll be taken aside when I think there's a firm stance you can take that doesn't touch either and just talks about the reality of the situation, which is you're just gonna make games shittier, and you're just gonna encroach on everyone's enjoyment and freedom.
I think there are a lot of people starting to talk about this stuff though, so that's why I'm not like too negative about it. But it's not looking good right now. That's all I can really say about it.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think anything else you have to add on that whole situation, or
No, I mean, like, what else is there to add? Wow, the big corporations are doing the big corporation things again.
it's not the corporation; it's the government of London.
I mean, corporation.
The UK.
The people.
Yeah. Well,
It's
yeah,
corporation.
yeah.
Totally. I mean, they're all bought out. We all know that they're all bought out by companies. If you don't think that, then you're a fool. Sorry. I mean, I'm not gonna like mince words there. You know that pretty much every politician is backed by some sort of company that has a corporate interest. And
Well,
all laws
all laws are lobbied for too.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, if it's not in the corporate interest, then don't count on it getting passed. Anyways, on to the next thing.
Have you been paying attention to the Palworld lawsuit at all?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to when Nintendo is being a devious devil in their dealings. Man, absolutely insane, because this kind of reminded me of a lot of like what Activision and Warner Brothers was patenting, like Warner Brothers with the Nemesis system and then Activision with the matchmaking system where it like matched you against people who wailed on Call of Duty so that you could be like, wow, he has a really cool skin and gun, I'm gonna go buy that. It kind of reminds me along the similar lines of that, where they're like trying to just patent a game mechanic, but this one is far more vile and rancid. It is honestly kind of like watching a petulant child complain that their games are getting outshined by other games, and then they don't want to put in the effort because they're too, like, they know they're screwed. They know they're boned because Palworld absolutely blew them out of the water. They're fighting this tooth and nail. I wouldn't be surprised if after maybe Pokemon, was it like ZNA, right? Or was it? I've totally forgotten.
Legends ZA, yeah.
Legends ZA. If after this one comes out and it doesn't do well, if they just drop it, but like not going to count on that. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised because Nintendo does this all the time where they just like create some sort of like big lawsuit to try and suppress a specific game, and then after the big game that they've been trying to compete with comes out, they just drop the lawsuit or they just forget about it and just let it like sit in limbo. You saw that with AM2R, where AM2R was being released. Then they're like, oh, we're going to DMCA this because Samus Returns is coming out. So they've done all this before. Nintendo's never been the good guy. They've been doing this for forever. Everyone never likes to talk about the Blockbuster lawsuit that they were always trying to, ban people from renting games because, oh, it's cutting into our bottom line. Nintendo's always been evil. I hate to burst your bubble, but Nintendo has always been evil. Like, they have been one of the most repulsive gaming companies I've ever seen, but they make damn good games, man. They make damn good games. So,
And that's just the unfortunate part. I fucking love a good Nintendo game, especially from the GameCube era, peak in my opinion. But there's a certain sort of how should I say maliciousness in this lawsuit, uh, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. It's like a dumpster fire that you know is there. You know it's gonna eventually spread to the building the next door over, but it's not your building, so you just kind of keep an eye on it and watch it out of curiosity. Uh, Maybe call the fire department, but the fire department's just kind of there watching it too.
yep.
It's the latest developments are kind of insane, honestly.
Yep, 100%. I was just pulling up this article, and it's, this Nintendo patent was apparently granted without a patent examiner looking at a single game. Classic. You know what that reminds me of? Sonichu. How
Chris!
Yeah, it really is like that is just that's peak like that is peak American IP patent office right there. Yeah, just pay it and file it, and then we'll just approve it, whatever, without seeing if there's any conflict of interest or anything. So, you know, yeah, they just approved it. And yeah, hundreds of games, like you were saying, because you were mentioning before, like it's the summoning mechanic. Well, before we even started the stream, but the summoning mechanic, and you know, yeah, like how many characters, like how many games is that gonna affect? Because I was thinking specifically because I'm an SMT fan, that's gonna like bone SMT. Like, what's SMT gonna do now?
I mean, SMT has veteran years on Pokemon, so I don't think SMT's at any risk, realistically speaking. But that being said, if Nintendo does decide to try and enforce their lawsuit, uh, you know, hundreds of games, right? Anything that revolves around you summoning sub characters. Like, does that even encapsulate RPGs? Because your party hops into battle with you. It's such a vague terminology that it's hard to say exactly what will and won't get enforced with it.
Oh,
Um,
it's an expert lawmaker or like expert lawyer when they use vague terminology to try and patent something.
oh, absolutely. But I mean, like, yeah, no. What? We'll talk about a little bit about that. About Nintendo's current brass too later on. But it's very shameful, I think, because how should I say? You have a lot of trying to postulate my thought here. Um, you
Yeah.
have a lot of things, not just games, that also get affected, like modding communities. And it's actually pertinent because one of the more recent developments in the case as well was lawyers suggesting that gameplay ideas and innovations featured specifically in mods are not viable as prior art because they require a base game to function.
Yep. I
The
mean, it's
problem with that sort of idea is that, well, does the base game feature that innovation?
probably not. I mean, with most mods, probably not.
Oh, exactly. So how is it fair to say that it has no merit as a piece of art or as a prior creation solely because it requires a base game to function? That's discrediting uh, uh, any sort of creativity that is present in modding communities, such as like myhouse.wad, something that completely flipped what people thought was possible with the Doom engine on its head.
Especially with
Any
how small it
Minecraft
was.
mod, yeah, any Minecraft mod as well. Um, just ignore the fact that basically something like Tekkit and Technic,
Feed the
uh,
beast.
Feed the Beast, stuff like that. Oh, what does that remind you of? Oh, go play Satisfactory. That is basically what a
Yep.
lot of those industrial Minecraft mods are. Those kind of factory making games, right?
Well, it definitely inspired
Um,
it. I mean, I'd say Satisfactory is also stems a lot from what's it called? Factorio specifically as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. But even worse than that, it completely discredits games like Counter-Strike, Team Fortress 2, and Portal and Dota. Those are like the four big examples that I immediately go to
Yep.
because those were predominantly modded uh, creations that ran on other engines that companies took a look at, and specifically with those four, Valve obviously took a look at them, and they said, "Hey, this is a great game." And so instead of trying to shut it down and saying, "No, no, no, you can't do that," they fostered that creativity and created some of their most popular IPs from it.
Well,
Right?
Sega loves doing that too. Like I do admire Sega for embracing the modding and especially the indie game community for Sonic. Um, I'm always surprised that Nintendo doesn't just poach talent. Like it kind of blows me away that Nintendo is just so hesitant to even interact with with outside talent. It's like they're like allergic to it. You know, like I've seen so many great Mario ROM hacks and Mario just Mario games. I mean, like I said, going back to AM2R, like an amazing it's not a ROM, it was a base game. Like that was built
Yeah,
from the
it was
ground
it
up.
was its own game.
Um
It actually became, I think, the Metroid engine or like the basis for it. Yeah, another Metroid one that ROM hack that deserves a spotlight. Metroid X Fusion,
yeah.
combination of the two. Fantastic. One of the first overhauls for Super Metroid, which is insane that that's only recently come really.
I mean, it's not surprising. I am excited because it worries me because there's so many like possibilities. I see what Kaze is doing um with Mario 64 and specifically the N64's architecture. Amazing work. And it's just like why does Nintendo just not want to deal with this at all? Like these people are great. They'd be fantastic for your company.
Oh, imagine if they had gotten him for the 3D All Stars collection,
Oh yeah, 100%.
and Mario 64 runs with like the proper respect that it deserves
No,
as a piece of gaming history
no.
on modern hardware.
Instead they just slap Dolphin on there and then call it a day, and then slap down anyone who's emulating and tried to destroy anyone who tries to emulate. You know, classic Nintendo.
What can I say? It pays to be the king, I guess.
God, I mean, I guess I don't know. Like, who's to say what's king anymore? I think it's the Wild West. More and more people are turning to pirating over all of this right now, and I don't blame them. I think with how awful things have gotten. Like, I mean, I a little side tangent. I mean, you know, I've been looking at buying new games. I kind of want to buy Sonic Crossworlds Racing because it looks good, and I played the demo and I had a lot of fun playing it, and I think it'd be fun to play with friends. I just can't justify. I can't justify $100 for it because I don't know how much time I'm gonna get out of it. Like I'd rather spend that $100 on Magic cards because I get more fun out of Magic cards for sure. It just the pricing of video games is just it's just all over the place now. It's like why are people pirating? Gee, I wonder why. Is it because that like 50-60% of your video game's budget is going towards your executives and the higher ups? Because I know it is. I don't have proof, and I know that like maybe I'll get like put on the cross for that claim, but it's really hard not to think that maybe in those crazy high budget games like what was it, Skull and Crossbones or something like that, the quadruple A game, that at least 60% of the budget went went towards paying the executives and the higher ups on the dev team. They totally did. You can't convince me otherwise unless you show me the receipts, which we'll never see, by the way.
Oh, absolutely, and that's kind of just the sad part because there's actually like, funnily enough, with Nintendo, there's a lot of anecdotes from how kind
Iwata.
yes, Iwata, how kind Satoru Iwata was before he passed away. There's one famous case where he took a pay cut so that everyone that was working under him would continue to be paid and wouldn't be let go and continue developing their games.
Yeah, very few people like him. He was one of the rare ones in the industry. Very much like Reggie Fils-Aimé. I love Reggie. I don't think he would have taken a pay cut personally, but I'm not going to put words in his mouth. But I know that he was one of the better ones for sure as well.
His era of Nintendo definitely felt a bit more fun, to be honest. But
It was fun. I mean, maybe it was because we grew up in it. For sure, it's probably because we grew up in it. But I mean, I don't know. I feel bad for any kid growing up in this era of Nintendo where it's like they have to describe every trailer and what's happening in every trailer to you like you're some sort of like mentally damaged individual, like someone who
in this game, Wario does a suplex and then shits on a box.
eat an onion to unlock gas power and fart on your enemies. PU.
Yep. It's honestly, it's kind of inane. It's really hard to watch a modern Nintendo Direct because it's like, I just want to.
It's not just Nintendo Direct, it's everyone. It's PlayStation, the state of play is what they call it, or the Xbox, like what do they
State
call the
of
Xbox one?
Play, State of Play isn't too bad for
Oh,
it,
it
I will
totally
say.
is. It totally
Because
is. I
it,
watched
it
it.
has it gotten worse? Because
Yeah,
the
they
last
like
time I watched a State of Play was like, would have been like the second to the most recent one. And that one was mostly just trailers, and the most that anyone talked was just a developer talking a little bit about how excited they are to be releasing the game.
it definitely is less than Nintendo, but it's like I couldn't differentiate it. I was like, it is the same thing. It was like I was watching an extended version of Nintendo Direct.
Honestly, fair. They all do
They
blend
all,
together
yeah,
now.
they all blend
There's
in, man.
that's a large problem with the modern gaming industry, to be honest. A very distinct lack of personality. Something that I wish they would get back from the console wars, not the necessarily the oh, it's PlayStation versus Xbox versus Nintendo, because like, who
Oh,
cares? If you could afford all of them, I would have gladly bought an Xbox
it
360 to play Halo back in
is
the day.
why.
But you know, at the end of the day, what made these brands so recognizable growing up was how distinct they were. You knew
Absolutely.
you went to a Nintendo platform to have a fun experience with either a platformer, kart racing, party games. That is what you got a Nintendo
Yeah.
for,
A
Nintendo game,
100%.
GameCube or Wii for. Whereas if you wanted the more serious story-driven games, you went and got PlayStation or Xbox. And especially with Xbox and PlayStation at the time, it wasn't just the branding and everything that gave it such personality, for better and worse. It was just how distinct the games were. Halo is something that I've come to respect a lot more now that I'm older and I can comprehend what I'm actually, you know, digesting in a game.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
we weren't allowed to play Halo.
that too, but it's definitely something that is shall I say, a lot more respectful to not only the player but respectful as a game, because it just does what it does so well. And I can understand why a lot of people dumped a lot of multiplayer hours into Xbox and PlayStation games for the games that were multiplayer. You know.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to just kind of amend there too. I've been enjoying Sega's advertising campaigns because they've kind of brought a bit of it back.
We all know that kart racing game. It's
they
great.
brought a
We don't
bit
need to
of
show
it
to you.
back.
But
which
what
is
if you can
great.
blast through and race on a whole nother level?
It makes me so happy.
No,
What
absolutely.
if you could warp across different dimensions?
Come on.
Fully customize and build
Why-
out
why
your
is no one
machine
having fun
and
like
compete
this anymore?
head-to-head across different platforms.
Because fun is
Or,
risky.
what if
You
you
don't want
wanna
to
roam
take a
around on the
risk. You
open
don't want
road?
people to take a look at a game and be like, "Oh, what's this about?" I'm not interested.
I don't know, man. It's very sad. Very happy they did that though. So, you know, it's tough. Right now, definitely feels like the corpo schlock is getting in there. And man,
Oh, I mean,
all I have to
speaking
say
about
is
corporate,
man.
speaking about corporate, Doug Bowser, huh?
I mean, he retired at a great time, didn't he?
I mean, what is there to say? Do we wanna pull up the clip back from 2019?
Which one? Let me see if I can find it. Which one is it?
Should be the one that specifies start at 05 to 38.
Let's see. Da, 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 da. Oh, okay.
This is like still when Nintendo Directs were relatively fresh.
Okay.
Because I want to say this was like only 4 years into the Direct format. Because when was the last E3?
I can't. Nintendo Direct format is older. No, sorry, I used your name. Sorry, doxing you.
I'm offended.
I think.
Yeah, no. So this was E3 of 2019. I want to say.
I think it was
2 years before
2013.
E3 ended.
Yeah, I think it was
The first
2000.
Nintendo Direct was 2013. Yeah, with the Wii U.
Yep, that's what I thought. That's when they brought that in.
So yeah, this was like 6 years in then to the Nintendo Directs.
Absolutely.
Hello everyone, I'm Yoshiaki Koizumi from Nintendo. In this Nintendo Direct for E3 2019, we'll showcase a variety of games, many
Okay.
of them coming soon.
Are you gonna
But
play it?
before we dig
I'm
into the
playing it.
next game, there is someone I'd like to introduce first.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
What? What are you doing here?
Yep, here he is. It's Bowser. You know, I almost think that actual Bowser would have been better than Doug Bowser.
Wait a minute. There's been a bit of a mix-up.
Yeah, I believe in the
You're
King
not
Koopa.
the right Bowser. Sorry, but I'm the right Bowser for this presentation.
I'm the right Bowser for this presentation. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Whatever you say, man.
Yeah, well, that's about all there is to say about that clip. I remember seeing that and looking into him immediately.
Yeah.
And holy moly, what a pedigree. EA, huh? That's who you went with?
That is who they went with. I kind of almost remember you saying back when we saw that, you were like, man, this is going to be bad. And lo and
Oh,
behold,
yeah.
like basically after the Switch's success, man, they milked that. And like, I'll be clear, Nintendo's done this before. When Nintendo had a success, they went and tried to milk that bank with the Wii U specifically, because they had the huge success with the Wii, and then they were still a bit more like fun oriented with the Wii, or with the Wii U, but it was definitely like trying to like grab more. You can see they were getting greedy, and there's like little signs of it. Then it just failed miserably, and so they're like, oh, we got to go back and do the humble ourselves and postulate in front of the masses and beg for forgiveness. Until, you know, they did the Switch, and the Switch was fantastic, even though everyone complained about it being underpowered and being not great. The Switch was absolutely killer, and I still really enjoy the system. Like, I enjoyed the system, for sure. I think it was just a worse Wii.
I'd argue that the Switch was one of the better Nintendo systems to kind of come out. Not a lot of stiff competition there. Obviously, I'm not gonna say that it's better than like the Wii era, the GameCube era, or the Nintendo 64, SNES, but you give someone the option between like an NES and a Switch, they're gonna take a Switch. Unfair comparison, obviously.
It depends on who you're talking to, but yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I
Oh,
didn't
man.
account for all the AVGNs out there, you know.
Yeah. No, so
Even then, I'm
they
not
can play all
sure.
their-
I'm not sure what James would say about that.
He's, I don't know. I think like
He's a nerd.
I think you get to the point like when you've played so many video games that it just kind of becomes, I don't know. It becomes like a
Tough to play new ones.
No, I wouldn't say tough to play new ones. It's just you become indifferent. Like there's going to be bad video games. There's going to be good video games on every system. You know, you can't pick and choose. Like all of them can't be good. All of the games can't be bad. There has to be like it's kind of a natural law, honestly. You know, and to I'm sure you could definitely hook up an NES and you could play some great games on it. But you know, the great games on the NES might pale in comparison to the great games that we have now. But I don't know, man. I see games like Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, and there's definitely a part of me that would just rather play Majora's Mask or Twilight Princess.
Absolutely. The Switch lacks a lot of cohesive experiences compared to some of the older console experiences. There's standout titles. I'll give a like Splatoon 2 or 3 credit. Very fun multiplayer games. And pretty solid single player modes. But after you play through like Splatoon into Splatoon 2 into Splatoon 3, where there's barely any difference between each iteration, it really makes you question whether or not you want to play another Splatoon game or play more of it, period.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to love that kind of gameplay to keep coming back to it. And I think that's a large problem I have with the Switch, is that there's very few titles that actually demand your return to the console.
I feel like that's just with most modern video games. I also think that length has to play into that, because it's like, okay, well, let's just say I go play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That game is like 80 hours, man. That's like an 80-hour game. Like, am I going to go return to play that unless I really, really love it? No. Whereas with Final Fantasy VI on the SNES, that's like a 30-hour game. I could definitely maybe like play that and then return to it for sure. Like 30 hours is much more reasonable. And then if
I was going to say 20 at most once you know what you're doing.
Exactly. And if you want to get more extreme, like Chrono Trigger. Like Chrono Trigger is a 7-hour game if you know what you're doing. Like you can blast through that game if you really want to. But, optimally, your playthrough is probably going to last about 12 hours. But I think game length is a huge issue right now with replayability. And I think it's kind of not one that's talked about much at all. So.
No, sure.
But
it's really, how should I say, a lot of people want like content over quality, and it's a tough thing to strike. But I'll give credit to a lot of Nintendo games there. There are a lot of games that come out from Nintendo still that are that quality over content. but lately I will say, especially if you take a look at like Pokemon or even Tears of the Kingdom, very much a game that is just so much focused on like content to where
Yeah.
it's as wide as a lake but as shallow as a puddle,
Yeah. No, 100%.
and it really suffers for it because you want to do those long play, like a good game will draw you into a long playthrough like that, and foster you through it and make you want to return for more.
I find it very hard to return to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I find it very hard to return to that. And like I said, it really does come down to play length with me. Like once you do everything you want to do in those games, there's no reason to return to it. And then like a very, very big problem with the open world games, I feel. That's why, you know, I'm attracted to RPGs. A lot of System Shock 2, Vampire the Masquerade, Deus Ex, any of those type of RPGs, really good because there's a lot of player expression in it. You can play the game the way you want.
Well, that would be classified as an immersive sim with RPG mechanics.
Okay, fine. My
Get your
bad.
genres correct.
Oh my gosh. As long as you're gaining XP and levels and abilities, it's an RPG. Eat my ass.
You don't gain levels or XP. You gain cybernetic modules and plug them in.
You gain levels and XP in Vampire the Masquerade. Oh my god. What do they even let you in? Anyways, okay. Well, I mean, Doug Bowser's leaving because he tanked the company. Everyone knows that he tanked the company, and he's embarrassed. So he's like, "I'm just retiring. Bye." And he's just taking the bag and running.
I don't even know if that's what it is, honestly. But I don't know.
I'd like
Can
to
we
think
take
that that's
a
what it is.
quick break here and come back to this then?
Yeah, absolutely. So, quick break. I'll turn back the thingy majiggy on so you can watch some horror game. The game is Labyrinth of the Demon King, I think. So, in case you're curious. Okay, can I break these? Oh, well. Okay, so I still need a door down here. Constitute. Use this weapon for now. My microphone. Come on. There we go. It's been uncomfortable. This needs to go over here. It needs to go over here like this. There we go. Okay. I'm actually not entirely sure what he improved about it. Combos. What? Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, So I want to... Wait. I guess that's pretty much my combo, is just hitting them all in the overhead. Swing. Blow up their head. Okay, so... I'm at a loss for words right now. We don't ask the cat lady for things up on the 3rd floor. You can't get up here? That's interesting. Duh, are you there? Back? Oh. Oh,
Oh, sorry about
what
that.
happened there?
Feather in the throat.
Oh, jeez. What do they call it? Preening?
You know, happens to the best of us. So.
Don't worry, I have to lick
Well,
my
I mean,
ass.
Jesus.
Anyways.
Speaking of cleaning up the dirty work.
Yeah, speaking of cleaning up the dirty work.
Goodbye, Doug Bowser.
Yep.
So long, Bowser.
I think I
Bye.
sent you I sent you an article first.
Yeah. No, I sent him off. I sent him off. I don't think there's much to say about Doug Bowser, honestly. I think he's kind of, it's whatever. It is what it is. He did his thing. He made Nintendo God knows how much money and then tanked them really hard as well.
I mean, you can say that, but he made the stocks go up over his term, so.
That's what I said. Like,
Well,
so.
And now they're going down.
Yeah, exactly. So. Oh, okay. Well.
Well, I mean, the one thing I do want to talk about before we move on is his replacement. Who is Devin Pritchard?
Good question. Who is
Is
Devin
it
Pritchard?
Devon Pritchard? I'm not sure. It's a woman.
is
So the first
Devin-
female COO is being appointed for Nintendo of America, not the
Okay.
CEO. Very important to stipulate. Doug Bowser was not the CEO. A lot of people get that mixed up. No, the current CEO is the same CEO, Satoru Shibata.
Or yeah,
So
well,
a Japanese businessman.
Japanese company.
Yeah, they're never gonna change that practice.
Yep,
But,
100%.
long story short, from what a bit of info I could gather, she obtained a doctorate in law from Gonzaga University School of Law, and has been a 19-year veteran for the video game industry, specifically pertaining to sales, commerce, and laws.
Yeah, she was head of the legal department since 2006 for Nintendo America. So they're gearing up for something, and they want someone who's savvy in American law there. And I think that's just kind of maybe a signal that they're reinforcing their push for patents and stuff like that to stranglehold on creativity in video games. So we'll see what happens.
Definitely not looking good if Nintendo continues to push down the iron boot. But
Only time will
so
tell.
long, King Bowser.
Yep. So, okay, what's next on the agenda?
See what happened with EA.
Actually, no. Oh, wait. Was it the buyout?
Yeah, the buyout.
Oh, man. See, it's so funny. These Saudi companies coming in with their Saudi oil money, and they're just like buying all these. They're buying all of these companies over in America. It just, like, I'm interested. There has to be some sort of value they see in it. whether it's like a political or a ideological or a just a financial. One of the three, obviously, maybe all three.
From what I can tell, it's largely financial.
Yeah,
For the most
100%.
part, because this is what a lot of people don't want to talk about is that this is a part of the ongoing pursuit for the booming esports industry. Previously,
Booming.
before this, booming in quotation marks, obviously.
You mean propped up by hopes and dreams and fake
Yeah.
money and fake promises?
Well, yeah, absolutely. The only time esports ever works is grassroots, in my opinion.
You should ask Liquid about that. You should ask the whole American Counter-Strike scene about that.
Hey, we sold out.
What about the
to,
Overwatch League?
The problem is NACS sold out to corporations way too quickly, and they tried to force a growth that wasn't there, right?
Yeah.
Whereas before that, when NA actually had players playing the game, whether it be interest or economic factors, because let's face it, the economy sucks and it's hard to just sit at home on your computer all day. There were a lot more prospects for players from NA. But that's kind of off topic, so that's all I'm going to say about that. The other part that I want to really focus on is that, EVO, an event like that, got its start from grassroots, and the whole reason it became so big was that people with passion were willing to put in the effort to make it work. So now you have these corporations from Saudi Arabia coming over and purchasing these companies. Why is that? It's because they want Saudi Arabia to be the esports capital of the world. So same as the OWL, Overwatch League.
Yep. Well, I mean, makes sense. You saw what they've been like. It's a bit off topic, but you've seen what they've been doing in Abu Dhabi, and a lot of the other places. Like, man, that aquarium in Abu Dhabi is insane. That's crazy. Check out Ferrari World. They also have a Warner Brothers a theme park and everything. So it's not surprising that they're starting to go after broadening their attractions, bringing in esports and everything. But I do want to kind of tackle the topic of what does that mean for a lot of the people who are not conforming to Saudi ideological standards, right? What does that mean for the people there? I mean, I think it really damages the scene more than it helps it in a way. But what do I know?
I mean, it doesn't make much of a difference, in my opinion. It's just going to be a continued filtering of people who aren't going to conform, and that's about all there is to say about it.
Well,
do
you think
Evo's
going to hurt? I think Evo's probably going to hurt a bit because you're losing how many players from that?
You're not just losing how many players. It's all the way over in a secluded country. True. In the first place.
I mean, yeah, you're probably going to lose a lot.
You're cutting off 90% of people that would have been going. Whereas, let me just ask it like this: are you realistically going to book a ticket, especially if it's for an event, and then book a hotel for that event if you're not a player?
How much is it? Let's see. Let's see. We'll pull it up right now.
Oh, it's hard to gauge right now because nobody wants to go to Saudi Arabia.
It'll probably be Abu Dhabi. Right. Pardon me. Ooh. Flights to Abu Dhabi from, let's just say, Toronto. Yeah. So you're looking at about 500 in October, but when's Evo held? In the summer?
Typically, yes.
Typically? Let's say June next year. Okay, so you're looking about $600 for a flight over. And if you're on a weekend, you're looking at 800, 700. And then hotels in Abu Dhabi. Honestly, not bad. Oh, okay. It actually unironically might be cheaper.
That's an American moment.
Yeah, it actually might be cheaper. Because EVO
Well-
was held in Vegas, right?
The most recent one, I believe.
Oh,
was, yes.
100% it's cheaper because like you get boned. You get boned so hard in Vegas. You could get like a decent little place here for like 180 if you're not too picky. If you want to be really cheap, you can just go to this $44 one. Where was it? And there was a $44 one somewhere around here. But
Yeah.
it like
So I mean, hotels aren't going to be your biggest problem, for sure.
It's
The
the
ticket
flight.
over is going to be the biggest, yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, all that I'm going to say is I don't think a lot of people are going to be willing to spend around $1,000 to and from just to go play video games competitively.
Yeah.
Or go watch people play video games competitively. You know,
Yeah.
the reason that Counter Strike's tournaments work so well is because they have a few dedicated venues that always host those tournaments, but they largely travel around between countries. So you're getting a wide interaction from a plethora of the player base, and it it drives people to pay for that interaction because you're getting more of the local crowd in there, other than just the people who want to travel to these events.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it's going to become more of like a exclusive event of the top talent in the world for fighting games, rather than a tournament for everyone, which is unfortunate because that just hurts, the smaller people, like it always does, like all these big corporate buyouts and decisions do. It always hurts the smaller people. Nothing
You're
you can
telling
do.
me I can't just be a college dropout and play Melee all day?
Wow. Oh, wait, and get drunk and then get banned because someone encouraged me to do it and then ditched me and threw me under the bus?
Sounds a little specific over there.
Oh, man, couldn't be me. Anyways. So. Yeah, pardon me, but I don't know. I don't think there's really much else to say about that. Says that you wanted to talk about the awkward fight between AAA and indie, which is an interesting topic because I think you've been talking about how hostile the AAA devs have been getting towards indie devs for some reason.
Yeah, so this is something fascinating that's been going on. It's honestly a shame because I think indie games are your best bet for like value from your money in the games industry right now.
With Silk
You know,
Song coming out for $20, yeah, no duh.
Silk Song for $20, no duh.
Mega
But
Bonk?
yeah, just in terms of pure gameplay experiences, you're just getting so much more from an indie game than you are out of out of a lot of modern AAA titles.
With Cultic, I got 7 hours out of the campaign on the first chapter, and I have to finish it, but I'm getting like probably 7 or 8 hours out of the second chapter, and they're $12 each.
Yeah, that breaks down to like what, $2 per hour, basically.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. I say that too much. I'm becoming self-conscious.
Don't think it, don't say it.
Oh no. Now it's just going to be ingrained in my head.
So, I mean, yeah, it's honestly kind of just weird because there's a lot of developers and even just non-devs who are coming out backing AAA companies agreeing with these talking points when really there is like a lack of excuse me.
Like awareness.
There's just a lack of awareness, especially about the current condition.
Well, it goes back to what I was saying about the pay for a lot of these companies and how I believe, even though I don't have proof, I believe that like 60% of the game's budget is just going towards paying the top devs and the executives. Like it really just feels like they're just raking in so much money off of that, and it could just be spent in a more wise and fiscally responsible way.
No, absolutely. I need to stop saying that. Now you've got me doing it. So yeah, this tweet here says Silksong honestly should cost $40. I'm not even joking. I won't go so far as say it's bad. It doesn't, but it will have effects, and not all of those effects are good. What are those effects? I think it reinforces that you should be able to deliver complete experiences for the price points that you promise, because that's what a lot of these people won't acknowledge, is that Silksong, I believe, is the same price as Hollow Knight.
Yes, it was. About $20. I swear, maybe I bought Hollow Knight for
$5 cheaper at $19, actually.
So, yeah, well, I think it's a good price. I think it's fair. I don't know how big the dev team was for Silksong though. Was it fairly sized? Because like I think they knew if
It was actually very small. Team Cherry, to my knowledge, the core development team is roughly, I think, 3 people. And they have a few external resources that they rely on.
yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, I'm pulling up the tweets here right now as well. I don't think you can see it because you don't have a view. You might want to pull it up, but so I already showed the Silksong should honestly cost $40, and I'm not even joking. I won't go so far to say it's bad. It doesn't, but it will have effects. See, like all these tweets. Like I'll pull that one up again. All these tweets just scream insecurity about how much money they make because they're going to be affected by the bottom line. I don't know how much they're making, but this shouts to me that we're not making enough, and all the executives are making the most. And if we don't charge more for our video games, we don't make as much. That's kind of what this screams to me. And I'm going to pull up the second one where it says, I agree with this post, but you can also look at this as from a slightly different angle. Look at how cheap games could be if developers weren't getting terrible deals from storefronts, publishers, and weren't fighting for their lives to pay bills. See, is exactly what I said. So
no, it's a very tangible problem that faces indie developers that a lot of AAA devs don't actually like want to pay respect to, because they want to take pride in their work, but they don't want to admit how much of that work is truly their own, and whether or not that kind of stuff is just, so to say, compromised because of the effective value put onto it.
yeah. Yeah. I think everyone just knows though. Like the problem is that everyone knows that video games shouldn't cost this much. And I do understand the argument about inflation. I mean, we look at Super Mario Bros. 3 on the NES, came out. It was about $59 US when it launched. And so I think adjusted for inflation, which is what I did before, it was about $129 in today's money. So, you know, video games have always been expensive. The problem is that back then our dollars went further. And right now our dollars are not going as far, and they keep pushing and pushing and pushing. That's the real issue. It's not exactly that video games are too expensive. Like it is, but it isn't. It's just that our dollars aren't going as far because of inflation. Oh, you okay over there?
Sorry, just forgetting to press the funny button. It really is just the economic situation that everyone's finding themselves in, and that's what a lot of developers don't want to admit, is that there's a very different space in the tangible times we're living. So it's very frustrating because it's almost talking like to a brick wall whenever you bring up these subjects with people who work in the industry. and it creates very unhealthy talking spaces, because I don't think that something like this is necessarily a bad thing to talk about, especially if you focus on the fact that developers, more often than not, are getting pushed around by storefronts and publishers, and it's unrealistic. I believe in a Bellular News video, it covers a subject, covers the subject that we're talking about right now. And realistically, most indie studios, when you sign a deal with a publisher, you are immediately working on that game that you signed that deal for, the moment that you sign it, because you need to have it delivered to them by like an unrealistic deadline of like 2 years.
Yeah, I
All
think
right. So
deadlines have been
anyone
very
who
harmful for video games.
Yeah, and anyone who signs that kind of a thing because you need the money to just simply develop the game you want to develop, it's nigh impossible to sustain that kind of cycle in a healthy manner that complements the actual quality of the games without compromising on a lot of features.
I think it's developer error as well, personally, because we've been seeing so many games coming out that do so much with so little, and I think that's just a personal developer error. Like, if you have to take money to develop your game because it's not reaching your vision, I think your dreams are too high. And that is a very harsh criticism I will throw around with some weight, because I've seen people do games that are better than all these AAA games coming out with literally like a fraction of the budget. And it's just better. I get a better gameplay experience. I've seen games that have similar open world concepts with a fraction of the budget that do better because the developers are just more technically skilled and they understand that they can work within constrictions. Being confined produces creativity. So, in that sense, we should be able to be like, okay, they have a deadline now. That should be able to like produce creativity. So my statement should ring true for a lot of the AAA devs that are, caught in this time crunch. It doesn't, because they're creatively bankrupt and their dreams are too big, and like it just like I don't know. I don't know what this obsession with realistic graphics is too. Like I feel like this aim to have everything look as realistic as possible is really what bones people when it comes to AAA games. I feel like this obsession to have everything look as realistic as possible, that's what takes the longest in all of this.
I'd say it's a symptom of the early 2000s, early 2010s, I want to say, actually. Early 2010s, because there was an obsession with quote-unquote realism. I think it was Pointless Hub who said, like, not your traditional realism, but your everything's gritty and you have a dark color palette realism. And once you kind of started veering towards that in the second console generation, or sorry, not second, like the fourth and fifth console generations, it really started becoming a case of completely derailed my thoughts. Sorry.
Sorry.
It became a completely different sort of thoughts of realism, and you saw it with games like The Last of Us. Before that would have been like how am I forgetting it? Nathan Drake. Uncharted. That's it.
Yeah.
Uncharted, yeah. From studios like Naughty Dog that really pushed and popularized this and proved that a more cinematic gaming experience has an audience.
I mean, just look at Death Stranding too.
Oh, absolutely, right? And so you have a lot of these things, right? Now, in indies, you kind of have it in like the more physics simulations of like simulator games where you're just kind of doing an inane task over and over with a more realistic take on it. But even then, people have realized that that's just not as fun as just making a more arcadey experience for it, right?
Yeah.
And hence you have the more modern evolutions where it's like, well, you're doing the main task that's like a semi-realistic thing, but you're getting upgrades and you're trying to do it as fast as possible, yada yada yada, the whole nine yards.
I just believe that if you don't have the budget to do a cinematic game, don't try and do a realistic cinematic game. There are other ways that you can achieve cinematic feels in your game that doesn't have to be like hyper realistic. Like there was a recent one that I saw. There was a recent one that I saw. What was it called? Eclipsium. Eclipsium is fantastic. Yeah, it's low poly, pixelated graphics, very cinematic. It looks great. And it's just a walking simulator game practically. You don't have to be this like crazy realistic stuff, but there is room for it. Don't get me wrong. And I really enjoy Death Stranding. I think Death Stranding is a terribly misunderstood game, personally.
Yeah, I would say that's really where AAA tends to succeed compared to indie, because they have the funding to kind of achieve that, and they have the technology to achieve that. Not saying that it's completely impossible with indie, because indie makes a much better, I'd say, cohesive cinematic experience, and that's one part where I'll really criticize AAA, because a lot of the publishers and stuff like that stifles the necessary processes to truly make a worthwhile product when it comes to a cinematic experience.
Well, I can see why a lot of the people feel like there's a lot of the DEI hiring and a lot of the agenda pushing in games now. And I don't know if it's particularly because there is this agenda, or if it's just because of personal beliefs of the developers and what they've been going through, that they're just inputting into the game, right? A lot of people think that it's like this big like conspiracy theory. I think it's just these people have been these people just like to put in their political views and their ideological thoughts into the video games, and that's it. That's really how we're getting it. The thing I appreciate about Nintendo games is that there really is no like overarching political thought. That is the one thing I'll always give Nintendo, is that I don't have to deal, like when I play a Nintendo game, I don't have to think about politics all the time. Like that is a very frustrating trend I'm having with video games right now, is that it's not that I don't like, if I wanted politics in my game, I'll buy a game that is inherently political. If I just want to play a game, I don't want to have politics in it. I'm sorry. If you want to pose philosophical questions, or pose moral conundrums, I'm okay with that. Go for it. But it doesn't always have to be a political message all the time.
Well, I think a very important part that a lot of people miss is that you need a good reason to actually include your full philosophy session with the player, right? Games that I can think of that do a great job of this, Metal Gear Solid, a fantastic piece that questions about where we're headed in the future, and what are the ramifications of soldiers, modified soldiers, and stuff like that. It's a sci-fi setting, but it asks some fairly intriguing questions. So as a player,
game.
you're more open to entertaining those philosophies, even though it's an absurd moment of a bunch of people who are ideologically pitted against each other, talking about philosophy on the battlefield,
Well,
which
it's not
it
that
itself
because,
goes on to make fun of too.
yeah, it's not that they don't want to, like, they don't want to be pitted against each other, but they have to, because it's like, well, that's, we serve this nation, and we, I think the only one that you can really stretch is really the boss and Big Boss. Like
Well,
the
you
boss
have
and
that.
Snake. And
You have that
that's more
with
of a moral
with Gray
conundrum.
Fox as well. You have that with Gray Fox as well,
Yeah.
because Gray Fox didn't want to fight Snake in the MS-DOS games.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
yeah, another good example I'd say for philosophical quandaries is the Talos Principle. Fantastic
Oh my
puzzle
gosh,
game.
what an
If you
amazing
don't want to
game.
engage with the philosophy, you just aren't going to enjoy the game. Period, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
what an amazing
But
game,
once you
though.
engage with the philosophy, it completes the experience. It's necessary for you to play that game.
No, a Talos Principle 2 just adds on to it. What a great series. I cannot suggest that series enough, even if you're not like a puzzle fan. I would definitely just go watch or listen to the game, fall asleep to it, because, man, that game, that game really nails human philosophy in general. Just a masterpiece of writing. I've never heard dialogue flow so freely and eloquently in a game. Maybe like a Deus Ex, but even that's kind of jarring.
Deus Ex just kind of puts it bluntly to you.
Yeah, but
it's
Talos
crazy
Principle,
what
man.
Deus Ex talks about.
Talos Principle kind of gets me kind of sweaty.
Well, I mean, if there's one thing that a lot of this stuff with Silksong actually reminds me of, it really comes down to you remember how everyone reacted to Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah, no, man. Oh gosh, I'm pulling it up right now.
That's another game that AAA devs just lost their mind over. It's kind of wild, but yeah, you have this one. Please put some thought into it before you proclaim this as what a AAA should be moving forward. 6 years, 400 plus people with insane funding due to the IP given Baldur's Gate 3 a big boost. It's truly unrealistic to expect this on a regular basis now. I want to pick this tweet apart because
Evolve PR.
it really, the ignorance in this is just, masterpiece. Just, bellissimo, turns me into a culinary Italian, the way that I look at this tweet. If this was rage bait, I'd give it like a fucking grade S+.
It's definitely crazy. I'm just looking at it. I can only chuckle really because it's just what do I say to it? 6 years,
Okay,
400 plus people with insane funding due to IP.
Projected sales of Baldur's Gate 2 reached 1.5 million copies.
That was Baldur's Gate 2.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Shadows of Am specifically.
Is that the expansion?
2 million worldwide.
What was Baldur's Gate 3?
Baldur's Gate 3 sold way more.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's just someone who's been stuck in a deadline hellhole for God knows how long. That's someone who, if he went and worked on Baldur's Gate and had the freedom to explore that type of work environment, I think his mind would change instantly.
Yeah, so Baldur's Gate 3 sold nearly 5 times that at 15 million worldwide.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'd say that's pretty successful. I mean, what was the budget for Baldur's Gate 3?
I'm not sure what the budget was. It was definitely a bit larger than the previous title.
Let me look that up. Budget for Baldur's Gate 3. Oh, gotta turn that off. Whoopsie. Whoa.
$100 million to $200 million.
Yeah, $100 million, $200 million, which means that they sold, you said 15 million?
Yep.
So
roughly 15 million.
Calculator, 15 times what? What it was a $80 game, right?
Yeah, you're looking at roughly 10 times the profit, basically.
Yeah, good return. Amazing return. I shouldn't say good.
And that's not even accounting for like people who have purchased it on sales, right? So hard to say, and that's not even including the cut that Steam gets from it for all the PC sales and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
You want to break it down, I guarantee you they only made around like probably 70, maybe 80% of that, if we're being generous.
Yeah, I could see that. So, still, fantastic return. But go ahead. I want to hear your comments on this tweet.
So, I'll admit the insane funding part. That's a fair comment. 100 million is nothing to scoff at. But that being said, if you go and watch the actual making of documentary, most of the people were actually breaking down into tears during the development cycle because it took so much longer than they were anticipating. Some of the devs were just not sure how they were going to make it throughout some of the months.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's
So,
usually how it goes with a lot of those games. It reminds me a bit of No Man's Sky. You know, it
yep,
kind of
No
reminds
Man's
me
Sky.
a bit of No Man's Sky.
Even something like Majora's Mask for the time, right? A lot of in-studio work, very stressful on the developers and the families. So a huge just ignorance of the actual like amount of effort that goes into making a game, especially something of the scope and scale of Baldur's Gate 3, right? 6 years of development time, yeah, that's generous. Um, Especially if you compare it to the standard AAA, who has to be gotten to modern deadlines and crunch. But I don't care. That should be the standard time for a game. Period. You should be taking 6 years to make a game because one, if a good game's good, it'll sell. Two, uh, if you don't put the time and effort into it, it's just not going to turn out to be a good game.
Well, I think you have to when you say that, you have to take into account of the life cycle of a console, and the life cycle of a console is about 6 years now. So you actually have to have maybe a development cycle of about 4 years, which is appropriate. It is tough unless you're playing unless you're releasing the game on PC, then it's a bit different. But you know, technology keeps advancing really fast. We're at the point where technology isn't like advancing as slow as it was before. So longer development times are, I wouldn't say unreasonable, but I see the issue with having longer development times because the computers keep getting better, the processors keep getting better, um, the consoles keep getting better. So like what happens if you're developing a game and then the game engineer, because we know how Unreal Engine 5 functions, we know how all these things function, like what happens if the game you're developing, the engine you're developing on just is outdated, right? Because you took too long. There is a lot more moving cogs than just the time you need to take to develop a game.
Yep, there's a lot more than just the time required, but at the same time, I'll also speak out against that because a very interesting development is that the modern game engines just fucking suck.
Well, I mean, Unreal 5
Like
is awful,
I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. You know, if there's something that's very frustrating to me as a modern gamer is the fact that I have a modern rig and I put money into it. And when I boot up a game that I've been looking forward to, and it runs at a doo-doo fart dookie 30 FPS because of its fucking AI scaling on an experimental in-house engine, or because it's on Unreal Engine 5 and it uses the AI scaling, it makes me seethe with rage. I just want to I want to scream at the CEOs who have made these decisions to push forward that and assert that this is like the new norm. Like I understand there's going to be I can understand that there's a certain period of which you need to experiment about this stuff.
Yep.
But you should be making optimized experiences regardless with that new technology. And if you can't make it optimized, you should optimize it ASAP immediately afterwards. Because as it currently stands, if there's one part about AAA that is just not acceptable, it is the complete lack of regard for overall functionality of a lot of these games. You know, if I can't play the game and it's not fun, why bother?
like our friend was saying with Dying Light, the Beast.
Yep, like that's the other thing is that a lot of just insane gameplay decisions in some of these games. Like I'll admit, thankfully with Monster Hunter Wilds, there's a lot of quality of life stuff that they ironed out, and thank God for that because as it currently stands, if each time it crashed, I had to go back and do the exact same thing that I was just doing, I'd be losing my marbles. But then you have other games like Dying Light the Beast where it's like, oh, you died? There goes your beast meter. Never mind, if you want to play single player, you need the beast meter to simply beast out to stand a chance against some of these bosses. Just bad bullet sponge, drawn out game
Yeah.
design that's just like insane.
Yeah, no, I would say that a lot of these open world games are just suffering from bad Ubisoft viral symptoms at this point. It makes like RPGs just because they try to always like have like light RPG elements. It makes the light RPG elements in it like almost undesirable. It's like I want to go play. I've been trying to search for a open world game, and there's just nothing. Like what? Like, do I want to play Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance? Not really. That's about the best open world experience I'm gonna get at the moment. Ghost Yote came out, and it's a PS5 exclusive, and it looks like it doesn't look bad by any means. From what I've saw, it looks perfectly fine and serviceable, but Ghost of Tsushima just looks better. And that's like what, a 9-year-old game now?
What is Ghost of Yote?
That is the sequel.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I forget what, maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, but
No. I've heard everyone pronounce it that way, but
yeah. So yeah, it's the sequel, and it doesn't look bad. Like I was saying, it just doesn't look as good as Ghost of Tsushima, which is surprising. So I don't know. It feels like the open world genre is kind of hitting its peak. It's actually not hitting its peak. It's hitting its decline now. So I'll be interested to see. I'd like to see more games come out. God, I need a new chair. It's so squeaky. It's honestly terrible. I want to see an open world game come out with a lot more freedom, but also just maybe like with a more creative and artistic art direction. Not something that has to be like super realistic. Like I'm just gonna keep harping on it. I'm kind of really sick of this super realistic stuff. There's a place for it, but I just don't think it's needed in video games. Like if I want to run in a field, I'm gonna do it outside in real life. I'm gonna touch grass. I'm sorry. Like,
what, you don't want to touch the virtual grass? You never need to
no,
go
I
outside
don't.
again. Your
Oh,
life is indoors.
we all know how. You know what? Just to go back quickly about the about the Online Safeties Act, I wonder how that's gonna affect VR chat.
Oh, dude,
It's gonna
VR chat's
destroy it.
gone.
Yeah,
It's gonna get a
destroy
nuke.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Jinx, you owe me a
it
soda.
really. Fine. Yeah, it's really kind of just a shame because I think something that people shouldn't really shy away from is embracing a lot of these expectations, because excellence is something that is hard to come by in this industry nowadays. And it really doesn't help when you have people like Randy Pitchford out there,
Yep.
lead developer of his company,
What a special
well,
human
yeah,
being.
what a very interesting person. So this was in response to another tweet. I couldn't find the original because I just kind of looked for these, but
I'm pretty sure he was complaining about like the price.
Yeah,
of, like,
a lot of
Borderlands
people
4.
complaining about it. But his response was, A, it's not his call for the decision on the price of the game. Fair. You know what? If he had just left it at that tweet, I wouldn't even be mad. I would be agreeing with him right now. But then he goes to just pour gasoline on the fire and says, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school working a minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. And so that just takes us to our back to what you said earlier. Money doesn't go that far anymore. You know,
Yep.
I think it's a fair thing to say, oh, games were expensive back then. But they don't need to still be that expensive, especially when you're not delivering a complete product. And that's my problem with a lot of these modern AAA games. Is they
Not
just
complete.
simply aren't complete products.
Pokemon
You know,
ZNA. Oh, by the way,
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
DLC.
Here's some DLC before we've even released the game.
Yeah, it felt like the Donkey Kong DLC too was like totally supposed to be in the
Oh my
game. Yeah, I don't want to even
like
touch that.
the worst part about the Donkey Kong DLC, it's like one, yeah, okay, obviously Congo Island was supposed to be in the game, as like an Easter egg, like the Mushroom Kingdom in Mario Odyssey. But two, I don't fucking care about your half-assed roguelite game modes because it's not a stimulating roguelike experience. The reason a game like Slay the Spire works is because it's a nearly random experience each time until I've played the game so many times over that I've literally played through every possible hand combination and combo.
I'd say Enter the Gungeon.
Enter the Gungeon is another good example. The reason those games work is that they're built from the ground up for roguelike. You take a game like Donkey Kong, it's not meant to be a roguelike. It's meant to be a platformer with RPG-like mechanics that help you progress the game.
Well, I was puzzled as well because they said that the Bananium gems were all in the same place every run. So
What?
yeah, the Bananium gems are all in the same place every run. So
I guess it's
you
just a
can
bit too complex for them. Yeah,
you can
the
just
real shame is like how does the level generation work? Are the levels even random?
no,
From
they're
the looks
not.
of it, they weren't.
It's not. It's all the same. It's all the same every run. And so it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
so like
so you just find the optimal strategy and then that's it. So realistically,
yeah.
you've cut down a game mode that's supposed to be not infinitely playable, but like have a lot more play time for less development time. And then you've basically dumbed it down to like maybe 4 or 5 hours of game time.
Yeah, and
Especially if someone
that's
knows what
just
they're
not
doing.
that's just not worth your money.
Yep.
Period. Like I'd say even if you're a huge Donkey Kong Bonanza band boy, you know, that's just not worth your money.
Not
There's
at all.
just better experiences you can put that money towards. And it's really just a shame because like it undermines the experience overall, I'd say.
I'm I don't
Well,
know.
especially when you have proven concepts that show with more time and care, completely random destructible environments can work. Just take a look at Deep Rock Galactic. That's another fantastic indie game that I
Yeah.
point to anyone to. You want just a really solid, fun experience that's about mining as space dwarves? Go experience that. There's so much content in there. And it started off in a fairly shallow state. I remember picking it up when all
Kind
you
of
had was like
remind me of
was like
Minecraft in a way, like when it was
yeah,
in
like
base state.
five glyphids and like
Yeah.
a couple of like only the base weapons, no unlocks. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they were still figuring out the perk system and stuff like that. It was exciting to get a new update for it because it's like, oh, I want to see what the rest of the game takes shape to be, right?
Yep.
Bit of an unfair comparison, I'll admit, just because one's like we're developing the game with your criticism versus we think players are going to enjoy this experience.
That's a huge thing. I think that indie has an edge over AAA with, and that is the communication with the people playing the game, and it's kind of the ego you're seeing here, specifically like on topic, Randy Pitchford. It's just the ego that these people have because oh man, I'm making big money. I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars making these games and I'm making millions and stuff like that. I've made millions. You guys make pennies on the dollars and you play my games. So your opinions don't matter. Well, it matters when the people who don't have valuable opinions, apparently, who make pennies on the dollar, don't buy your game. It matters. Like stop like okay, well, what happens when all the cows are gone and you want steak? You're screwed. What happens when people just leave? Because people will just leave, and people are, like I said before earlier in the stream, what people realize now that if you just stop buying the goddamn games, the big corporations listen. So you can communicate with smaller indie devs because they want to make the game as best as possible to sell as much as possible because their reputation isn't as high. But these egomaniacal, narcissistic, nepotistic developers, you have to hit them where it hurts because they only listen to one thing, and that's the bottom line. And I know that other people are probably saying this, but God, it's like I have to amplify it even in the smallest nooks of the internet down here. Just hit them where it hurts. Don't give them your money just because you're like, oh, I'm a fan. Don't let the rose-tinted glasses blind you. It's stupid to do that.
Don't buy this game, they might pull the franchise from the shelf for the future.
Then find a different game. I'm sorry. You know, like, our species has this terrible, terrible habit of fearing death, even in our product IPs. We don't want Star Wars to die. Look, things are going to die, everyone. Sorry. Newsflash, getting a bit real. Things are going to die. Let your IPs die and find a new one. Because you know what? Someone's going to make a new one, and it's going to be just as good and just as enjoyable. And it's going to be fresh and new. And you're going to love it. So just don't be afraid to say, no, I'm not buying this anymore. Borderlands can go suck my border nuts.
Yeah. I mean, and the worst part is, right, you know, like, really with these incomplete experiences, it's just a shame when you can't even play them, period. You know, for the fans, for the longtime fans who can afford it,
that's definitely a luxury. Gaming is a luxury now.
Oh yeah, gaming is a luxury, but you know, you can't even play the game now because, I mean, you know, fast forward to the next Randy Pitchford moment.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, this one's rich. So talking about Unreal Engine 5, man, code your own engine and show us how it's done, please. We will be your customer when you pull it off. The people doing it now are clearly dumb and don't know what they're doing, and all the support and recommendations in code and architecture from the world's greatest hardware companies and tech companies working with the world's greatest real-time graphics encoders don't know what you know. So, you know, and then he has to put the / sarcasm there, as if anyone couldn't read the, he's not a gamer, he's an idiot. As if anyone couldn't read the bitter subtext woven into such a statement. You know, it's really telling when this is your industry lead and your industry veterans are acting like this, that they just don't give a shit because they know that it's going to sell. And it's really just insulting as like a player, right? You know, I can only imagine. Thank God I never liked Borderlands. I always thought that it was kind of overrated. But I can only imagine what situation I would be in if I just couldn't play the game series that I wanted to play because A, the writing is getting worse with each entry, B, the gameplay is good, but I can't actually play it because it runs like doo-doo farts. And C, did I say A twice? Anyways, and C, the developers won't listen to my criticism even though I'm a longtime fan paying for it. You know, it really just doesn't justify you staying around to support it. That's not support-worthy behavior. You know, at the end of the day, when it comes to this, I hope someone does develop a good engine, because I think that what a lot of these companies don't understand is that you don't need all the bells and whistles to just make good gaming experiences.
Oh, they become diluted. I mean, it's exactly like how Hollywood's become. You know, like we're seeing the Hollywood effect in video games actively. Just kind of this weird corporate elitism, and if you're not in the club, you're not in the club, and if you don't suffer like we think we've suffered, or you don't do the things we do, and go through the rite of passage, you're not allowed in. And what people like, the beautiful thing about video games is that anyone can do it. Anyone can make a game, and anyone can be successful. It is like kind of the last vestige of like the Wild West mentality. And I kind of think that the payment processors, and I think that people know that, and yeah, we'll see how the payment crackdowns happen, but it's
Oh yeah, that's really the shame about the payment processors. It's very vague. We're already seeing a few scenarios where people are purposefully going out of their ways to false flag things now
Yep.
and get developers taken
yeah.
down simply because they don't agree with either their political standing, personal opinions, or the game's subject matter. Or like
Just
even just
malicious.
on such a malicious level where they just want their game to succeed. And it's going to create a very negative environment because like you're going to not only stifle so much creativity, you are going to tangibly lose competition the more that this goes on, and the
Yep.
more you lose competition, the more that idiots like Randy Pitchford here, are going to get rewarded. Because I think there are a lot of games out there that can offer similar experiences to what Borderlands offers, and given enough time and support, these developers will make superior products because they care for the games that they're making.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's not going to happen if you have people come out of the woodworks. And thankfully, this isn't something that a person like Randy Pitchford has done. This is more like anecdotal on lower level copyright gremlin tier kind of stuff. Nobodies who just want to do it because it benefits them, and they're just reporting people offhandedly to payment processors. And I'm really waiting for the first one where that's like a big thing to happen, right? Because when it happens, it's going to be a huge bomb for a little bit, but my pessimistic side says that it's just going to be the same of everyone will talk about it for a week and then move on.
That's always how it is. I mean, I just, you got to really hit the nail on the head repeatedly. Keep poking that sore spot, so to say. But, it kind of made me think about, like, card games in a way. Because it's funny because I like to extrapolate a lot of things. But, I'm always so surprised that basically it's like the 3 card games. It's just Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And then there's just like other contenders that come in and they just can't do it. Like, is it because they're just badly designed, or is it just because I think it's because they're poorly designed?
It's both. They're poorly designed, like the Star Wars card game, because Star Wars is something that has the brand recognition that Pokemon carries, and it could succeed, but the game is just badly designed, so players just stop playing it. Or B, it's something that doesn't have enough a broad appeal, and even though it's a solid interpretation, like do you remember Five Rings? I know it's still
Yeah, Five
popular over
Rings
in
is
Japan.
not bad. It died
I
out
know
over
it's still,
here, eh?
yeah. It's like I haven't seen a pack for Five Rings in a long time in a card
Oh.
shop, unless it's like a collector's item.
Pretty much. I was thinking about the old Star Wars card game too that came out in 2005. That was a really good interpretation. I like that one because it had 3 different arenas that you had to conquer, right? So you had different win conditions, and like I really think that if you kind of took a more Magic approach to it, but you had the 3 arenas separately, I think it'd be really good. But apparently, everyone just wants to copy Magic now, for some reason. I think you just have to let Magic be Magic. You're not going to steal that audience. Like, I don't know what Star Wars Unlimited was expecting to do. Like, I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, I mean, it wasn't even just like the whole competing with Magic part. It was just Magic, but worse because you had the back and forth system that just made it a pain to play. Where it's just like, oh, I play this, I play this, I play this, I play this, and it's just like,
Oh, it made combos really hard to hit.
you just couldn't.
Yeah.
You couldn't hit combos because it was like, oh, I pull out my Mandalorian, I attack. Okay.
I pull my Mandalorian out. I'm killing it immediately. Okay. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's like you just lose, right? So
So
it's
okay.
just not a well thought out process, right?
Yeah. Anyways, back on topic. Just a little diatribe. It just makes me curious. Reminds me a little bit about that. Yeah. So you like man,
I don't
recent
know.
games. You
Want
wanted
to
to
take a look at some of the recent games that
yeah.
are
You
having
wanted to look
engine
at
problems?
Monster Hunter. Oh my God. Monster
Yeah.
Hunter.
So holy shit, this hurts because the game is genuinely good from a gameplay perspective.
23%.
Pull it up on screen. It's genuinely a good game from a gameplay perspective. But my god, man. I boot up the latest update, and what happens? It's fucking Play-Doh graphics. And okay, why is it Play-Doh graphics? I go update my driver, it's still Play-Doh graphics. I thought this was fixed. Nope, it just doesn't fucking work.
I have to
Okay.
manually delete all shaders for the game to even remotely be playable. Yeah, so yeah, you're not the only one having that. Yeah, everyone's
no,
saying it.
it's just
5080 with the
and
7800X 3D, and he's facing the same issue.
yeah, a really good joke is that one of the biggest pushers for this is NVIDIA. NVIDIA says, "Oh, we'll make the AI frame processing a staple part of our cards." So since the 40 series and the 50 series, they now have the onboard AI processing architecture.
It's so stupid.
That's why it's recommended to have a new card when you play these games. It's not because it's better; it's because it's strictly necessary, and that's what a lot of people don't want to talk about with these things, right?
Mhm.
And so the most frustrating part about it is that it's not only isolating a lot of my friends that I have that would play Monster Hunter with me, it made it so that I'm literally the only person in my friend group who could play this game. And so
Yep.
now when some of them are finally upgrading their PCs because their graphics cards have died and they have no other option but to buy new cards because it's fucking expensive to simply play play PC games nowadays. They're so far behind me that I'm still playing solo on the new update when like this is the update where teamwork actually fucking matters. so a very frustrating experience even as someone who can play the game at a stable frame rate because I have a good enough PC. And I just can't genuinely recommend this game that I think is an excellent gameplay experience because it just is unplayable if you don't have a good rig. It's really a shame.
Such a shame. I mean, that is the path of PC gaming now. And this is what I'm saying is the technology keeps getting better, and they keep. It's almost like it does feel planned from a consumer point of view. It feels like they just want to keep marching out newer graphics so that Nvidia can just keep racking up the ass for more and more money because you got to buy a new graphics card, and eventually it is going to be like they really want it to be like cell phones. They want it so that you have to buy a new $1,000
Yeah.
graphics card every year. They
Forced obsolescence.
yeah
And
it's really bad.
the worst part about it is that Nvidia isn't even creating a competent architecture for their own fucking graphics cards.
Why do they need to? They have the market.
AMD creates a better rendering system in Monster Hunter for the AI frame generation.
That's honestly impressive.
Yeah, I know, right? AMD is doing a better job on NVIDIA cards than NVIDIA themselves. So completely inexcusable from like all fronts of the industry. It really just like it leaves me flabbergasted. The other game I wanted to talk about was Borderlands 4 itself, just
Yeah.
because I want to see. Monster Hunter's obviously the most pertinent effect of
This game
of the
caused actual
enshittification.
damage to my PC. It has hard crashed my computer so many times that I now have to a kernel error in a driver. It has oh man, it caused the Roblox effect on this guy.
Oh my god.
It has caused boot loops. I've replaced RAM and moved the game to a new drive, and neither of those solved my issues. I followed guides to fix Borderlands 4, but none of them have helped. This is a worse launch than Cyberpunk, and I played that game on launch. I think it's stealing for Steam and 2K Games to get it paid for this. Yeah, I'm not gonna read the rest, but we all know how that review goes. I mean,
Ah,
that
I completely
my
agree with
God.
it, especially if it's breaking your hardware. That I would count that as a virus, and I would delist the game if I was a moderator on Steam.
compiling shaders is the other one on the side.
Yep.
Sounds about right. Yeah, it's. I mean, well, we can delist a bunch of other games on Steam, but we can't delist literal cancer on our platform. Yeah, it sounds about right.
Oh, I almost did it. But Astrantia, the this one cost them $90 to get cancer.
I could go to the gas station and pick up a pack of cigarettes for 20.
Are they $20 now? I thought they were
Oh
cheaper.
God, they keep getting more expensive.
That's depressing.
I think it's like the cheapest you can get is like 15.
Why settle for cancer? You could just go for popcorn lung instead.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's looking pretty bad right now. But that's okay because we're just gonna keep chugging along, and we're gonna.
I mean, there's a few little glimmers of light. There is actually out of the most unexpected place, EA and DICE for Battlefield 6.
Battlefield 6.
They are directly communicating with the community. If you want to give feedback on Battlefield 6, especially during the beta periods, they were listening, and they are targeting very small, very low end rigs because they want to have as many players able to play the game as possible. And that is the most interesting part. You know, a lot of people say, like the whole theme of this stream, I'd say,
Oh shit! Smoke
there's a
my
lot of
cheese.
people who are resisting the standards
Sorry.
being set by just good games and good game development in general. You know, a lot of Randy Pitchfords out there in the industry who just want to refuse that change because it's their way or the highway. But at the end of the day, I think money talks the most,
Of course.
and you're starting to actually see that with a few companies.
Of
Now, whether or not this is going to hold true post the Saudi Arabia buyout, I don't know. I'm going to be honest, that has me quite scared for the state of this game because I'm looking forward to Battlefield 6. I'm not going to buy it until I know exactly what I'm
Wow.
getting.
You're not gonna be a
I'm not going to be a consumer whore in pre-purchase, but
Okay.
I will say seeing the initial developer response during the beta testing period had me very optimistic about the game. Now I'm
No, it was
back
fun.
to
It was fun when
cautiously.
we play.
Now,
They
now I'm
nerfed
bad.
the movement though.
Oh, I know. I don't mind, but I'm back to cautiously optimistic now that EA has been bought out by Saudi Arabia because we don't know what the new monetization structures are going to be.
Well, that's something we'll just have to wait and find out. Oh, well. I think that's about as much as you want to cover. I mean,
Yeah, I think that's everything.
There's not really much else to cover in terms of news. I mean, we can cover the Xbox Game Pass thing quickly. I mean, geez, what were you?
Oh
what were
God,
you
yeah.
thinking?
Greed.
What were you thinking?
Greed.
Oh my God, what a mess. How much did they lose?
Not
like it crashed
much.
it crashed the site apparently because people were trying to unsubscribe and it crashed the site. So
Let's see.
But I mean, man, like just awful. What a great service that you could have just honestly farmed for cash, and then it's just like I'm gonna just grab as much as I can.
Oh, let's go. Xbox Microsoft Corporation stock is up by 0.31%. Let's up those numbers.
I think everything's up. Everything's up, man.
Nintendo is genuinely the only one that's been down for a bit.
Well, that's because they
I mean,
decided
this has
to
been
charge
like a
$800.
few months in the making.
$800 for a console that's subpar at PS4 quality. Yeah. Sure.
I mean, Yeah, it's not looking good if you're a Nintendo fan right now.
Oh, nothing's looking good right now if you're just a video game fan in general. I mean, basically, you got to just hope that your Steam Deck can run the games. I think Steam Deck is really the way forward for anyone who wants to have like an entry into the Steam library of games. Steam Deck's the way to go. It's the
It's
cheapest.
true.
It performs the best, and you don't have to worry about any
Support is generally good unless they
upgrades
use
or
AI
anything.
frame generation.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but I mean, then again, like, why would you want to play? Why would you want to play most of those games on the Steam Deck?
'Cause you're a stinky little Steam Deck boy.
Wow.
You just want to play those games on your Steam Deck.
Wow. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't really see. I don't really think there's anything else that's really happened in the land of video games.
I
think
think that
definitely-
is
Definitely just gonna.
most.
Who's talking?
I don't know. Are you?
I don't know. Are you?
All I was gonna say is I think that's most the modern games industry news to talk about.
Yeah. I think we can talk a little bit about. I'd say we got about like what 30 more minutes to kill. I think a 2.5 hour stream is a pretty good start, and then we can wager maybe it'll be a longer next time. Maybe it'll be shorter. I'd say 2.5 hours is a good range. Yeah. What games have you been playing lately that have really stood out? Because I mean, I can talk
Silk
about
Song.
Yeah, you're playing.
Silk Song, you mentioned Cultic, both those games, indie darlings, in my opinion. They
Okay.
deserve more and more attention. Something I have to replay is Valhalla,
Mm-hmm.
Cyberpunk Bartender Action.
Yep.
Fantastic story game.
Definitely worth a playthrough if you haven't played it. Yeah, Cultic's amazing. I was really shocked because I thought it was just going to be another one of those action shooters. You can surprisingly play that game at your own pace. Really nice because you can either play it really fast and play it like it's a Quake game and have a lot of fun doing that, or you can play it like it's a horror shooter like Fear. And it's really fun. I think it shines the most when you are playing it like a horror game. But it also shines the most when you're like jumping around, killing everyone in the as you're like slide dashing and like kicking people and stuff like that. Very
Doing
very
all your
good
movement
game.
tech.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna record some so that I can have it like play it up in the corner here for everyone. But yeah, you can. It actually has the crossfire crouch jump extending tech, which is hilarious. That I've used a couple times to get to places that I'm not supposed to get to earlier. So that's a little thing that's kind of funny. Yeah, solid game. Cannot encourage it more. It's kind of the only game I've really played in a while. I've been wanting to play Final Fantasy VI again, which I should, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get footage of that because that's on the.
I should too.
It's on the CRT, so unless I want to
Earthbound's
spend
another-
$1,000 on, on what's it called on CRT
Graphics
capture.
card, yeah.
So
Sorry, yeah, capture card.
I looked. It's ridiculous. Like it's crazy. I'm like, oh, analog to the analog capture card, and it's like $1,000 for it. Like, what like, is that technology really that expensive for some reason?
Yeah, because it's antiquated, and by antiquated I mean a cornered market, so it's profitable.
Oh God. Yeah, that sounds about right. Man.
I mean, another game that should replay, System Shock 2. I need to go back and revisit it again.
Oh, what's the playthrough this time?
I've never actually done a Psionics playthrough.
It's tough. You try to do a Psionics, and man, like you got to be really good. It's almost like you have to upgrade Psionics into melee first,
Yeah.
and you have to just empower your melee strikes before you can start using your cryo blasts and everything else.
Well, to be honest, I was just gonna do that, but also, you also have to, you cannot ignore hacking as much as you want to. You need like a baseline level of hacking.
Hacking's necessary. You cannot. Yeah, you can't ignore it. If you ignore hacking, like you actively
You
gimp
are,
yourself. in
yeah,
that game.
actively cutting yourself out of
That
most of
is
the content.
that is my one major complaint about System Shock 2, is that hacking is like necessary when I feel like in a game that tries to make you express player freedom, it shouldn't be. But you know, what do I know, right? I'm not a developer like Mr. Randy Pitchford over there. So, yeah, not really much else going on. I need to start playing more games so I have more to talk about. Been playing Magic mostly.
Oh god, Magic the Gathering.
Been an adventure getting into Magic now. What a time to get into Magic now when it's just IP the Gathering. It's nuts.
Yeah,
I
I can't wait.
understand why OG Magic fans are so upset, because you want to have you kind of realize that Magic was like weaving a tale throughout its card sets to create a themed land and like this fictional adventure that characters were going through, and there was story arcs and everything. And I think conceptually Magic was a very fascinating and ambitious project. Very, very interesting. And I understand why the card game's so highly regarded. And now you're just getting like I know like it's kind of late to the punch, like Doctor Who, Star Trek's just really puzzling. I'm gonna be honest, what are you like? Okay, like Star Trek, I guess. Cool. What's next?
Star Trek is such a weird pick.
Well, that
like,
and Marvel. Like I think Marvel's incredibly stupid.
Yeah, no, Marvel's incredibly stupid. I mean, the stupidest part is the fact that well, I'm thankful for it at least. The next Marvel set is the last Marvel set, and it's only a Marvel superheroes, so it's everyone that's not Spider-Man. So
I mean,
that
cool,
just
I
leaves
guess.
me with like more questions of like, okay, then why was Spider-Man so important that he got his own set?
Absolutely. Jeez. Well, I mean, it's because Spider-Man's pretty much the biggest. Like, okay, here, I'll pull it up.
But yeah, he is the biggest, but you know,
What are the
I
biggest?
still
We're
don't
gonna
think
look
that's
at
a
the biggest
justification.
fictional IPs, which is kind of wild, but it is Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, surprisingly, because this is all just coming from the Brave AI. So I'm gonna just go here. What is this? IP fiction. Legend of the Five Rings, apparently. And that's based off of books, eh? Yes. League of Legends. What would you say? I know you're lurking in there. League of Legends. Would you say Garen's the coolest character ever created? I think he is.
I think Demacia.
Not many times you can shout for the cause.
Flash R.
Flash R. I feel like what's Spider-Man's net worth?
What is Spider-Man's net worth? I don't know. You're probably gonna
The
get a
IP?
comic action.
$25 billion, encompassing films, merchandise, video games, comics, and television shows. Compared to the MCU.
Well, the MCU is gonna be bigger because it encapsulates all of it.
$29 billion.
Oh wow.
Spider-Man literally makes up pretty much all of it.
Huh.
Like Spider-Man is basically almost as big as the MCU.
Well, and that's the
So
only the
that
cinematic
is-
universe, not the comic
Yeah,
universe.
but that is why Spider-Man is the one character that got the magic set. So it's just that's insane. it's not surprising. So But I don't know. I hope that they pick some good stuff. I mean, The Hobbit's okay because it Magic is based off of the Lord of the Rings series.
Yeah, Star Trek and Marvel are really just the real wise.
Well, Doctor Who as well. Let's just be
Oh yeah,
honest.
Doctor Who
Who's
was
weird.
as well. I don't think Doctor Who should have gotten a set.
Yeah, well, I'm just surprised. Like how I didn't realize that Doctor Who was that popular, honestly.
It's the BritBox, yeah.
It's so weird seeing BBC as the copyright on some of those cards. It's so funny. So yeah, no, we defected from Pokemon, and because Pokemon's just not fun. Oh, God, I didn't realize how
Inferior consumer model.
I didn't realize how bad of a game Pokemon TCG was. I'm not saying that because it's like it's bad. It's just, man, Magic is just so much more engaging. It makes my neurons fire so much more.
I think that Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, they were really starting to figure out like more of how you could have fun with your mechanics and your attacks and like how you could have fun deck archetypes. But then it didn't sell well because the scalpers have just like completely destroyed the playable market, and it's created this unfortunate effect where the next sets are literally just reprints of new sets, or of old sets, and it's really depressing because it's just back to the most basic, boring card mechanics of I attach energy and then I attack you for 250 and I win the game.
Well,
You
it's
know,
gonna have to be more than 250 because, man, like some of the HP pools are getting ridiculous.
oh my god, yeah.
I remember when we
270 for
thought
GX.
280 was weird. We saw the Whale Lord for 280 and we're like, man, that's a crazy amount of HP. And now they're
that's
like
a-
up to like how much? Like what's the max? 360?
Yep.
It's crazy. I don't know. The only thing Pokemon really has going for it is the art. Those cards are beautiful. They're absolutely pristine. I've never seen such beautiful card art. But I don't know. I'm defecting to Magic. I'm sorry, Pokemon. My friendship with Pokemon is over. Magic is my new friend.
Look, they had me at the pregnant Sonic deck. That's all I'm gonna say.
You got to make that. You got to build that.
I have to. It's probably the funniest shit post I've seen in a while.
Yeah. So. I mean, jeez, man, the cloud deck is hilarious, but there's so many other ones. I think I told. I'm not sure if I told you, but there was a lobster, like a space lobster deck that revolves around making food and sacrificing food to do damage. So
Yeah, it's basically what the Hazel deck for Bloomburrow does, is it not?
No, it kind of does that with the Mirkwood bats, but you're not like it doesn't really revolve. Mirkwood bats is just a condition, whereas the it's your commander that causes the effect. I'm pretty sure. So,
Yeah, I see.
it's pretty funny. But there's lots of decks I want to explore, and honestly, if you want to build decks on the cheap, you can. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I absolutely told you. I'm reading
quotation marks.
I'm reading the chat now, so if you want me to say anything or mention anything, you can. We're kind of just chilling. If you want to interact a little, but yeah, it's been a funny time playing Magic. God, the nerds are so. Man, nerds. What do I say? Not bad people, but my God, it's tough to hang around them consistently. That's coming from a nerd. Maybe that's why I'm single still.
That got oddly personal.
Nah. I'm kind of wondering what the next game we should buy is.
For what?
Just the collection.
To be honest, if it's Magic, I don't think we have the money for it for a while. But
I'm thinking of buying a box of Edge of Eternities or the next the Laura Eclipse.
It's kind of what I'm thinking.
Overhead cam stream when? I mean, if we open
I'd
a
be
box,
down to do it.
if we open a
We could-
box, don't mind.
To be honest, we could probably hold a draft night between you and our friends,
We could. We could
because
definitely.
they're starting to come down. They're starting to come out with the 4-player draft kits.
So yeah, there's options. There's definitely options. We could do the draft night, or we could I could definitely we could buy a box and then stream it. I mean, I don't care.
Grumgully the Generous.
Grumgully. You know what? I can put Grumgully up here. I think we
get
need
my main man
I
Grumgully.
think we need Grumgully in here. I need a Grumgully picture. I need a we'll post him we'll post him in the back. I'll get a picture of him and then we'll post him in the back. Man, the cat has been absolutely begging to be let back in.
I think it's time.
Yeah, I think it's I think that's all. We'll definitely come back. I think the streaming schedule is going to be, what would you say? Tuesday, Friday, or Monday to Friday?
Tuesday, Friday probably sounds right. I don't know, it depends. We'll have to talk about it a bit more later.
Yeah, for sure. But where is he? There he is. There he is.
Look at how generous he is.
I'm gonna put him back here.
Look at that. Look at that man. He's like, come on, grab the mushrooms. You know you want them.
It's true. Hold on. I need to layer this properly.
The old art
Here.
and Magic was so
Just have him peeking over. Oh man. So
there you go.
yeah, we're gonna release the Kraken over here. I think he's hungry. He wants to eat.
It is his food time.
Okay. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more bullshit. More treasures, more trinkets, more treachery.
What do you think we're gonna talk about next time?
Oh God, I don't know. Whatever strikes.
Completely unprepared.
I mean, that's how most of it is. It's always unprepared.
I'll let you choose the subject for next video
oh,
then.
God, don't give me so much power. Yeah, it's Grumgully. You see him back there.
That's you.
I'm part of. I am part of the Grumgully fan club. What would you do if you ran into Grumgully out on your hike? What would you do?
I'd be taking to shrooms with him. To be
You'd
honest,
take it to shrooms with him?
I'd graciously accept his generous offer.
Oh God.
Am I gonna be keeled over in a ditch, bleeding from my eyes? Maybe.
It's a gamble.
Could also be the best, wildest trip of my life. You know.
It's a gamble.
I could learn some ancient spells with him.
Okay, what type of ancient spell would you learn?
I mean, granted that he's like growing fungus from his hands, it's probably gonna be like forest magic of some kind.
Forest magic of some kind?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like maybe it's like an advanced growth. Maybe I can just be like, whoa, a sapling growth, and then like a tree grows in an instant.
You can conjure tree saplings in someone's lungs, like that one guy.
Yep, I could that's what it would be. It would be like, you know how Mystique had to sneak in the iron supplements for the one guy so that Magneto could steal it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll feed my friends watermelons and then I'll be like, huzzah!
The fiber. You summon the fiber.
I'll make all of the watermelon seeds grow from inside them.
Damn. They just like pop like balloons, just watermelon flies everywhere.
Yep. That's the grand plan.
Dang. Well, if there's no news, I'll check the news over the weekend and everything. I would expect Monday or Tuesday for the next stream, but I'll check. If there's nothing, then we can just shoot the shit about video games that we played and just talk about everything.
I don't
That-
mind just
that was
talking
fine.
about dumb shit next stream.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really like, jeez, like
To be honest, I don't know how much we're gonna cover gaming news because it
well,
is
it's all
a
just
bit of a
political
slow
now, isn't
subject.
it?
Yeah.
It's slow and it's all just fucking bloody political. I'm so sick of fucking politics. Like pardon my language, but God, I'm so sick of politics in my video games, man. Like if I wanted to play a political video game, I'll just go actually take part in politics. It's just a game. Like just go do that. If you're so interested in politics, just go be active in politics. I just want to be left alone, but I'm just a dumb, stupid fox, idiot, dumb.
Kind of smelly.
Oh, dude. It's the wet dog smell, I'll just be honest.
What's up, dog?
I'm kicking you out. Banishing you.
Okay.
I'm banishing you.
I mean, it's kind of rude, but yeah.
I'm banishing you for that. Don't you
Do it then.
don't- do it?
Do it then.
Okay, fine. Okay. Fine. Okay. See ya. Don't question my power. Idiot.